Okay, so I'm here with Jason Walker from Waypoint Robotics. Jason, thanks so much for joining us today or being here. How's the show going for you?
It's going really well.
Awesome.
The traffic we've had and the quality of people we've had has just been exceptional.
Awesome.
It's great to talk to people who know what they're looking for, educated buyers.
Okay, great. So, all right. So, for those who don't know, A, what they're looking for, and B, who Waypoint is, tell who are you to the uneducated buyer?
Yeah, Waypoint Robotics designs and manufactures autonomous mobile robots in New Hampshire. Our whole approach to the market is to make a robot that is so easy to use that the people who are currently pushing carts are the people who can take ownership of this robot and put it to work for them. So we're trying to give the shipping and receiving clerks and the dock workers and the assembly line workers a nail gun instead of a hammer.
That makes a lot of sense. So, what are some specific concrete applications who maybe a dock worker might be able to use, to help increase their efficiencies, or what are some of those pain points that your product addresses?
Well, a great example is what a lot of people call the long walk.
Okay.
You have items that are across the facility that might be half a mile long, and people spend a lot of time in their day just walking back and forth. And so our robots take that annoying piece of their job away from them, and it doesn't take it away from them. They still have control over it. They make it happen, but they have a minion to send out to do that long walk instead of having to do it themselves.
That's awesome. So, in that example, so I would imagine that we're going several hundred feet many times. So they're able to kind of program the route and just say, okay, all right, here, this is what we're going to do a million times a day.
Well, even better than that, with a Waypoint robot, because it's autonomous, you don't have to program the route at all. You just tell it where you want it to go, and it figures out how to get there. And if, like 90% of the companies in the world, somebody occasionally leaves a box in the aisle or something out of place, if there's an aisle that's blocked, then it'll find another aisle to go down by itself. So you can give it a wish instead of trying to plot every single little segment of its journey.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So it's smart, too, right?
It's absolutely intelligent.
All right, excellent. So, what are some of the new products? So you got this, giant, robot over here. It says 3,000 pounds. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that product is called MAVIC, and MAVIC is short for Mega Vector 3000. Our standard product is Vector. We have a 300-pound version, and we have a 600-pound version of Vector, but we have a lot of customers who have been asking for the same thing, only bigger. And so we made a 3,000-pound capacity version of Vector. And the user experience is just as great with MAVIC as it is for Vector.
Wow, that's awesome. So you can drop some pallets on there and move them to the loading dock, and away you go.
Yeah, we have customers that say, we have a water spider application, we need to deliver these parts to the assembly line or these kits, but then we also say, they're like, well, we also have engine blocks and transmissions, and we want to do that the same way. And then we also have a surprisingly high number of folks who want to do mobile manipulation at a really big scale. So we've put arms on Vectors and other robots many times in the past, but people want to put big arms on big robots, and so we made this platform to make that possible.
That's awesome. So we kind of went through a couple of use cases, but who are some ideal type customers that could really benefit from this?
I think our sweet spot are the small to mid-size enterprises. We think a lot about manufacturing in particular, where the work changes on a day-to-day basis, the material changes, the patterns of worker movement changes. We deal really well with that variability and with that uncertainty. And so for the folks who find that robots are just, other robots are just too rigid.
Yeah.
You have to call in an expert to reconfigure them. We've really built for the people who say, I've been running my machine shop for 50 years, everything works great except for that long walk, and I can't find enough people to push carts. We can drop a robot into that situation and have it working that day.
That's awesome. So ultimate flexibility. Yep.
Ultimate flexibility and scalable too. We also have the capability to interface with WMS systems and ERP systems and MRP systems. And the ability to make it work right now, to see how it fits in your organization without having to change a thing, and the ability to scale and add robots and add automation from the software system, it's all it all works, and it all works easy.
That's awesome. What is your number one question that you get asked all the time? Or maybe number one, number two, what is that?
Number one is, what are those amazing wheels? How does it move sideways? And then I think number two, and two are just working through all the questions that people have, where they either don't know about robots and we're teaching them for the first time, or they've talked to a lot of other companies and they come in with these expectations of the difficulties they're going to have in adoption.
Okay.
You know, do I need an internet connection? Do I have to put lines on the floor? Do I have to change the infrastructure? Do I have to retrain my people? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And we've really built this thing so that we can drop it in, we can take your dock worker, show them how to use it, and honestly put it to work the very first day you get it.
That is awesome. Well, Jason, thanks so much for the opportunity to come check out all the new innovations, things are doing. Yeah. You guys got some really cool things going on in New Hampshire.
We do.
So thank you again. If anyone has any questions, what's the best way to learn more about Waypoint Robotics?
Go to waypointrobotics.com, and we are at Waypoint Robo on all the social channels. Okay. We have a YouTube channel that we've got a bunch of videos up, and we're making technical progress faster than we can keep up with it, you know, in marketing materials. So if folks reach out to us, we'll reach back as fast as we can and set something up.
Awesome, it's a good problem to have. Hey, Jason, thanks again so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.